It's time for the Red Sox to do some pivoting. The question is, are they willing to do that? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto is officially a Los Angeles Dodger. Late last night, he agreed to a deal with the Dodgers, meaning that in 2024, he will not be playing in a Red Sox uniform. Now, the big question, I think, for Red Sox fans is, what did the Red Sox try and do to get Yamamoto on this team, right? Were they actually competitive, or once again, were they well below market value? That's a question we don't know right now, and once we do know, we will certainly be talking about it, but until then, we need to figure out what the Red Sox do now. Just because Yamamoto isn't in a Red Sox uniform doesn't mean that they aren't going to play games in 2024, and there's still a season to be had and competitiveness that needs to be there. So where do the Red Sox go from here? That's what we're talking about in today's video, because today we're breaking down where the Red Sox go, how the Red Sox can still have a successful offseason, and we're going to be talking about if they're willing to do that as well. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. When it comes to the narrative surrounding the Boston Red Sox right now, I think everyone's sort of in the same boat. There's no more excuses for the Red Sox to not be competitive going into 2024. Over the last couple of years, we've heard a few different things that make sense as to why the Red Sox may not have built a legitimately competitive team, right? They needed to reset their core players. Okay, fine. You didn't want to pay your other guys, but you want to sort of regroup and retool. You did that. You have that now in the system positionally. You wanted to get under the luxury tax, reset yourself so you could spend when you needed to spend. Okay, you did that. There's no tax penalty going into 2024. The question is John Henry and ownership willing to spend to get there? And honestly, I don't know, but really, that isn't an excuse either. Even if you don't want to spend $400 million this offseason, you still have all the capability in the world to be a competitive team, and that needs to happen. Red Sox fans are done with mediocrity. It's time to be a competitive team in 2024. And just because you lose out on one player, granted that one player is a generational, once-in-a-lifetime type pitcher that's going to come onto the open market, that doesn't mean that your off-season's totally flush. And I think, in my opinion, this starts with getting Jordan Montgomery. There are a few other options on the open market here in terms of starting pitchers that could improve your team. Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery, in my opinion, are the two guys who are going to legitimately improve this rotation immediately. Other guys like Shota Imanaga, Michael Lorenzen, Lucas Giolito are going to help your team marginally, probably, right? But you need someone in here who's going to definitely improve this rotation. Blake Snell is an excellent pitcher. He's a Cy Young winning pitcher. My issue with Blake Snell is, one, he walks a lot of players, and the Red Sox defense isn't going to be top of the league next year. That could be a big problem. And two, the way he's aging right now makes me a little bit nervous that we're going to get a Chris Sale copycat, right? Where he gets up there in age and all of a sudden he's missing a lot of seasons. Blake Snell's contract scares the hell out of me, which is why I sit with Jordan Montgomery. I think you need to get Montgomery here. He is not an ace caliber pitcher, but he's a top line starting pitcher who's going to give you under a 4 ERA. He's going to give you 32 starts, and he's going to give you 6+ innings basically every time he's out there. All three of those things are things the Red Sox need desperately. If you can land Montgomery, you could still be on track for a legitimately successful MLB offseason that puts yourself into a competitive space. Now, if you don't get Montgomery, there's still ways to do this. If the Red Sox truly think that Shota Imanaga can be a legitimate force in your rotation, okay, fine. If the Red Sox want to take a chance on Blake Snell, he definitely improves the team almost immediately. Maybe they think that Lucas Giolito could truly get back to that number 2 type status. Okay, fine, but you need to do something in the free agent market. You can't sit here with your tail between your legs. Oh, we can't play with the big dogs anymore, right? There's no more excuses for that. You come in here and you make competitive offers and you get a couple of these guys, or at the bare minimum, just Jordan Montgomery in a Red Sox uniform. It has to be done. That's the first place you start when you're trying to figure out where the Red Sox pivot from not getting Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Any of these guys are great, but these guys on their own aren't going to truly make this team competitive in 2024, which is why I think the Red Sox are going to have to turn to the trade market, which is going to get a little bit tricky, right? We've talked about about it in a couple of different videos here, but the Red Sox have put their backs up against the wall. Maybe Yamamoto didn't want to come here. Maybe he always wanted to play in LA or New York. Maybe the Red Sox just didn't want to pay for Yamamoto. Either way, their backs are fully up against the wall now. Every team in Major League Baseball that has a pitcher that they are willing to trade knows that the Red Sox need one desperately. It doesn't just need a pitcher, they need frontline starting pitchers. What this means is the Red Sox are going to have to get creative. When Chaim Bloom was hired with the Boston Red Sox, one of the things that was really highlighted with him was that, hey, we were going to get some creative out of the blue trades that were going to work out really well. That never happened. It's time for Craig Breslow to actually do that. I don't really care who you target. You need to get someone in here. And whether that's a rental, in my opinion, the best route for the Red Sox to take right now in terms of making a statement that they want to be competitive is to sign Montgomery and trade for Corbin Burnes, whether that includes an extension or not. You need to be able to say, hey, we're going to take the chance. We're going to get this rental player and we're going to try and extend him while he's here. But if he's not, we're going to try and convince him why he should come back to Boston on the open market in 2025, right? In my opinion, that's the route you need to go, but there are other ways to look at this. Could go Shane Bieber and see if you can unlock something that he missed in the 2023 season. You could go with one of the Marlins starting pitchers, get that controllable young arm like Luzardo, like Braxton Garrett. You could try and convince the Seattle Mariners that, hey, I know you blew us off once, but now that the free agent market is sort of heating up a little bit and we want to get a starting pitcher in here, we're willing to spend a little bit more to get one of your guys. That could be a possibility as well. But you need to do something. On the trade market, you need to do something because having Yamamoto would have been absolutely fantastic. It would have been your frontline guy. You need to replace that somewhere else. And to me, the big way that's going to happen is on the trading market. And if you have to give up someone that's a big name, someone that could be an impactful player, tough luck. Right? Tough luck. This is the situation you put yourself in. You didn't do well developing your own pitchers. You either are going to have to pay for your own pitchers or give up prospects for your own pitchers, and you didn't pay for one, or you tried to pay for one and it didn't work out. It's time to use that legitimate best crop of positional players in the sport, maybe outside of the Orioles, to get yourself into a position where you can have legitimate long-term solutions in your rotation. That's how you have to play it right now. There's no more, oh man, this sucks, like the Red Sox don't really have a foot to stand on. No, you do. It's just going to have to take what you didn't want to give up at the beginning of this season, and that's probably one of your big-time prospects, whether that's Jarren Duran, Ceddanne Rafaela, Meyer, York, Teal, Roman Anthony. One of those guys is going to have to go. Maybe a couple of those guys are going to have to go to make yourself successful this offseason. So if the Red Sox can combine getting one of these lower-tier free agents and combine that with a high-tier trade target in the open market, this could still be a successful offseason, right? The Red Sox are not sunk because they did not get Yamamoto. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be an uphill battle. And right now, I do not envy Craig Breslow. But like I said in the beginning, there's no excuses anymore not to be. You built up this core of positional players at the big league level and in your pipeline where you've got Rafael Devers, Tristan Casas, Brian Bayo, Jarren Duran, Masataka Yoshida, Wilyer Abreu, Trevor Story, and all these prospects coming up in the pipeline as well that are going to be 3/4 of a season away. You've reset your luxury tax, so you have no tax penalties. You have no excuses anymore to not be competitive, and you have avenues to do that. You have avenues still this offseason to be a legitimate competitive team in the AL East and in the AL in general to, at the bare minimum, get into the postseason, right? You have that ability, and you need to be able to do that. And again, I don't envy Craig Breslow, and I don't know if he's the guy who's going to be able to do it, so we're just gonna have to sit here and wait and see. At the end of the day, it sucks that the Red Sox did not get Yamamoto, but again, you can't force someone to want to play for you. It felt like for a while that Yamamoto did not want to play for the Red Sox, regardless of the money that was going to be on the table. You talk about them not having the meeting in Boston. You talk about him wanting to play on the biggest stage, which was basically New York or LA, right? It didn't ever feel like Yamamoto truly wanted to play for the Boston Red Sox. Okay, fine. figure out another way to be competitive in 2024, because to be honest with you, we're all sick of this mediocrity and it needs to stop now. So there is a possibility of a successful offseason. The question is, are the Red Sox willing to do what it takes to get there? And I know people are going to make assumptions one way or the other, but right now we're still in wait and see mode. And I know people hate that more than anything in the world, but it's truly what it is. It's hard to judge this front office right now until they've made or did not make the moves necessary to put themselves into competition in 2024. And for that, again, we're just going to have to sit here, helplessly wait and see. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of all this? What do you think of Yoshinobu Yamamoto not coming to the Red Sox? Where do you think the Red Sox go from here? Do you like my plan? Do you have another plan? Let me know all your thoughts for how the Red Sox can make themselves competitive in 2024. Let me know all your thoughts on the latest Red Sox news in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.